Go, yeah, go, go, yeah, go, go,
Hey guys, if you want to learn how to make this Easter egg wreath, stay tuned and I'll show you how I made it. First I used styrofoam eggs. I got these from the Dollar Zone. There's 10 in a pack. I got this from the Dollar Tree, just the regular foam, and some skewers to help me paint them. This set of paints is acrylic 16. They're an everyday value, so you will not be able to use a coupon, but I got them at Michael's. Pretty much every color you need. When I open these eggs, I will take this paint and paintbrush and give it to my daughter to use. I take the lightest pink and I'm using pretty much all the pastel colors. Don't worry, I brush a lot of this paint away. It's very thick. So I did light green, light blue, pink, and yellow. And I realized, uh-oh, it's not as light as I want. So I do lighten it up in a bit. I use this marker. It is a paint marker in the gold. I start dabbing it on, and then I realized that flicking it made a better effect. So I start flicking the marker onto the egg. This is where I realized I want it a lot lighter and almost chalkier looking. So I take my white paint and I start coating each of the eggs just to tone down the color a little bit. I have from the Dollar Tree amaranthus, which is almost like a wisteria type of plant, flower. And I just cut everything apart. So I realize I'm going to use the pink separately from the green because I want to layer it. So this is a wreath from the Dollar Tree. There's two types of greens on this plant, and I start out just trying to see if I would even use that part of the green, and I actually decided to use it in another project. I did like this type of green. It almost looked like a boxwood to me. What a bad thing that I noticed was I was having a hard time gluing it. It just wasn't staying glued, but I was holding the glue gun down to keep it down, and it just started melting away. So I started using a skewer to help keep it down. Here I start putting on the Easter eggs and gluing them onto the wreath in all different directions. So at this point I am pressing down pretty firmly on the eggs so they don't move around. I'm putting on the pink part of the flower. These stick a lot better to the wreath. I didn't have the same trouble I had with the greens. I want them to stick out towards the outside of the wreath and the inside. I think it gives it a more natural look. This pink flower I decide to put around the outside. And like I said, the glue holds it really well. I take a burlap ribbon that I got from the Dollar Tree. I don't love these burlap ribbons. I like the ones that have the wire in it, but the ones that do not have the wire in it, I feel are hard to use. They kind of shred apart. I know some people do have luck with them, but I don't seem to. So I won't be buying these again. At this point, I realize I need something on these eggs. I feel they're too stark on here, and I'm trying to figure out what else this wreath needs. Here's where I take the twine and I'm putting a bow to see how that looks. I don't like this option either. And that's when I think of using twigs. I have twigs in my yard that I just kind of broke off the branches, some of the smaller branches, and I think that this was my best bet. Just the thin ones I used. I kind of put them in to see where I wanted them, and then I hot glued them into place. And this is where I got smart and didn't use the hot glue gun to hold them down and having it melt everything. I did like how the branches looked. It gave it that earthy look that I wanted, that rustic look, so they worked. I decide to use the burlap, but I don't want to only use the burlap. I think it needs more color. So I pick up my rose pink ribbon I got at Hobby Lobby. It was $3.99, and of course it was 40 or 50% off. So I figure I spent about $2 on this. There's many ways to make a bow for a wreath. Right here, I just decided to do it one of the easier ways. And those were the part of the bow that hang down, and this was the top part of the bow. I kind of made a double loop, just gluing that part down. I'm accordion folding it, and I'm taking my twine, wrapping it around the middle. Again, it seems very small for the wreath, so this is where I decide to use both the burlap and the ribbon. I put just burlap on the back, making a loop, gluing it, and tying it all together. It just added more weight to the bow. Glued that on and attached it to the wreath. I just want to thank you for stopping by my channel and watching this. I really love doing crafts, and I know a lot of you love doing them too. And I love watching everyone's videos here on YouTube. I get inspired. I think they're great, and it makes me want to run out and buy the supplies. So I'm glad you're here. This is where I'm realizing it needs a little more. I want to add some more pink flowers to it. And at this point, I think it looks pretty good. I really like how the branches looked. So this is how it looks on my front door. I loved how it turned out. I think it adds a splash of color with the pastels, and I think it looks great. I'm really happy with it. I hope you like this video, and I have many more coming. I have a couple Easter videos. Again, remember to subscribe, like, and share. And as always, thanks for watching.